Good evening and welcome back to the action from the main arena table. This is the second semi-final of Event 1. If we can recreate any drama that was close to that first semi-final, what a performance from Ian Alley. This one is between Aaron Davies and Stevie Dempsey, and these players haven't been out of the drama this weekend either. It's Nick Finn, I'm joined on comms by Steve Jameson. How are you?
Well, a little bit worn out, honestly. Matches like that are just, there's something special to see them in person, and yeah, just crazy to see that happen live. It just, I had Shane pegged as a potential tournament winner from when I saw him on Monday night, and nothing had changed. In fact, that view had only strengthened as the week and especially the weekend has worn on. And to see that from Ian was just unbelievable. To do that to Tom Cousins and Shane Thompson in the same afternoon is just extraordinary, really. It really is.
It's a weird one. I was commentating with over on the other table, one of Ian Alley's games yesterday. I think it was probably his opening match, and again a really slow start. He was way behind and then started buzzing just in the same way he did then, won the game, and at the end of it, whoever I was commentating said, "Are we watching the potential winner there?" And that was 64 players remaining in the event. And what a shout!
Yeah, and I just said to you outside, I mentioned that to Ian actually, the conversation that we had, because obviously I know you've been at many of the big Ian Alley matches over the years, and I said this to Ian. I was honest with him. I said I'd never really seen it. I know it exists, but just in the flesh, I've not seen it. And today, I got it for the first time. Seeing him fizz around the table like that and find the comeback, I think that's the first time I've really thought, "Oh yeah, I can see." Because as Ian said himself, he's not just a good money match player. He's a good player, but it's that. He's got an X factor that not every player has, and that X factor can carry him from being a good player to a genuinely great one.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we've not seen the genuinely great one on the Pro Series. Maybe once, twice on the odd occasion, but he's been here a little while now, 2-3 years. But today we've seen it, and that was really quite special from Ian Alley.
I think every player's got that gear that they can step up. Some are more consistent and they're more on a kind of level playing field. Someone like Craig Waddingham who's got that extra gear that he lifts it to now and again. He just finds it. That was Ian Alley doing it, and he's done it a couple of times this weekend already. I mean, a phenomenal performance. To win 5 frames in a row against a man who was playing exceptionally well. I mean, Ian looked dead and buried. It wasn't just the fact he won 5 in a row, it's the fact he won 5 in a row against somebody who was at the peak of his confidence and playing beautifully well.
Yeah, and it's a tough one for Shane to take that. I'm sure he's been around the block enough. He knows how this game works, but it doesn't change it being tough to take. But he'll have to dust himself down and go again. I think he's still running in Event 2, so it's not all over weekend-wise for Shane, but that will be a blow. Anyway, we come back to frame number 1 because it's starting to heat up here between Aaron Davies and Stevie Dempsey. And Aaron Davies is still going to try and go game here, I think. Both players have tried and failed so far. I actually didn't think it harmed Stevie's chances to actually miss the ball he just missed. But what's Aaron got for us here?
What do you think is the mindset going into this? I mean, Aaron obviously, he would have been sat in his chair in that Waddingham game thinking, I'm probably not going to come back to the table and this is me gone, and then suddenly finds himself in a 6-red shootout after making an unbelievable escape from a snooker and potted the 8-ball.
Well, talk of unbelievable escapes. He's gone from little chance to win the frame to guaranteed.
Is it just a free life at it now? And
I put this question to Simon in the opening segment of the show. Aaron Davies, by any right, was gone. Craig Waddingham had a little brain fade, just didn't do the right thing to put him away. It's not as if he missed a ball that cost him a chance at a finish or anything like that. It was you or I could have won that match in that position. It was impossible to lose, but that mental mistake of trying to win the frame when all we had to do, cue ball in hand, was pop 3 open balls and the game was over. You couldn't fail to win that match. So Aaron sat in his chair thinking, it's not a case of, I'm not getting back to that. He's thinking, I'm out. He's already probably checked out of the game. He's amazed to get 1 chance. He's blown away to get 2. And, incredible shot that he pulled off to force that 6 red. But it is a funny thing, Tom Cousins often says this. He says you need a bit of luck to win these tournaments, and he'd know. He's won enough of them, and his mantra is you do need a bit of run. You can't just play well the whole way. Maybe that was Aaron's moment where you start to think, is this his time?
Yeah.
He's waited long enough.
He has, yeah. He wins that first frame and wins it well.
Yeah, it was a fabulous shot to win it, wasn't it, on the reds at the bottom of the table. I said just before, I don't think Stevie will particularly mind missing that yellow. It looked like a very long shot for Aaron to get out, but he found a way. And that hopefully, for Aaron's camp, will settle him. Confessed in his interview after his quarterfinal win earlier that nerves were definitely a factor in that quarterfinal out there in the arena, just adapting. Because he put it in quite a, for me, I thought quite a relatable way. He said, when you're comfortable, it's still hard to play out there. Like, you've still got to play really well. Controlling the cue ball is difficult, but when you're playing well, you can execute that skill and you're confident and all the rest of it. But when you are a bit nervous, he said, it just becomes 3 times harder to control that cue ball. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it starts to snowball, and the harder it gets, etc., etc. That first frame could be big for him.
Yeah, what a break that was as well. Timed it really well, and the reds have come out. The red, that's 6 inches below the bulk line. That overhead shows us that it does pass into that left centre pocket. So these are all there. It's just, this is an awkward one, having to use furniture.
Yeah, and he's a fabulous snooker player, Aaron, but he's used a rest in his quarterfinal, now a spider in his semi. You can go a whole tournament without using these.
Yeah, I mean, it's very rare we ever see a spider used in pool. He's judged that nicely. Just a tiny bit too much angle. Would have wanted to be a bit straighter so he could hold for this ball, but he can play the one to middle now.
Yeah, if he's feeling good, he can just come straight back.
Yeah, has to play the one to middle. Too much angle on the one at the top of the table. In fact, this may well have been the ball that he'd always planned to take.
Yeah, it looks good now you're looking at that one, doesn't it?
Yeah. Because he's always going to leave a nice angle on the one to the top left to then transition down to the bottom of the table. Doesn't need to do too much here. And Aaron's one of those players who will keep it conservative. He won't try to get too close to this. Just like so, middle of the table. That's what he needed to do. So he's got the perfect angle. Drop this in, off the bottom cushion, bounce out. He's got a nice consistent bounce. Lovely. The perfect start for Aaron Davies, winning first 2 frames. And not much Stevie Dempsey could have done. So a race to 8. The alarm bells won't be ringing for him quite yet.
As we take a look at the scene on table 2, Danielle Randall 1 frame away from her first Pro Series final in a little while. 6-5 up on Amy Beecham. She's taken some big hitters down this weekend already as Danielle. She's playing fabulously, and 1 frame away from a bit of a renaissance. It's a fabulous break. I'm not surprised she's playing so well with a break like that, and she may not get a better chance to go through to the final. We throw it back to the main table here. Aaron Davies 1-0 up on Stevie Dempsey.
2-0. The score's not updated yet.
Oh, of course, yeah, 2-0. You're very right.
And Stevie in off again. Wowee.
Yeah, he's been talking about how well his break has been doing, Stevie, and all the way through the tournament, really. And that's 2 straight and off.
Yeah, the red kind of guided it, but it was on its way up there anyway. I can tell you after the conclusion of this semi-final, we're going to head across to the Challenger ranks, and the Challenger Tier 1 final is going to be our next match. That's between Jack Schofield and Niall Sweeney, and I know both of those players have got a lot of support this weekend, so expect a good rowdy crowd watching that one. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. 2 sort of quite different players in their journeys. Jack's one of the sort of up and comers, if you like. He's England, I think, under 23 international at the Worlds I last saw in Blackpool. Really good, solid young player. Niall Sweeney slightly on the other end of the scale, I hope you won't mind me saying, and has been around a little while and has showed this weekend just how good he is. Irish senior international. And it would be a huge win for both of them. How they fare in that arena is going to be maybe the difference.
Yeah, I agree. They've not played a match this weekend on the clock, so yeah, that will be a real test.
Aaron with an excellent opportunity here to go 3-0 in front. And he talked about his issues in settling in his quarter-final. If he goes 3-0 in front, there's no more questions. He's settled in the semi, and Stevie's going to have to really work hard to row it back. But what I will say is never, ever, ever write off Stevie Dempsey. This is, even if Aaron goes 3-0 in front, this is a long way from over.
Yeah.
The last semi-final showed us that. Even if we don't go without thinking about how good Stevie is.
Just a little touch of work here for Aaron to do. Needs to move this red.
Yeah, needs to get the cannon right.
Yeah.
No real margin for error here, because if he gets the half ball between the both of them, the red, I'm not sure is guaranteed to go to right centre. There's a bit of a blocker there.
Yeah, he needs to hit the top half of the red. Nice, well controlled. Really good. A nice angle. Nothing to do with the cue ball here. It's just comes naturally through the line to get onto the 8 ball, so can fully focus on the pot. Beautiful. What a start.
Aaron Davies goes 3-0 in front, and I can tell you Danielle Randall has won through against Amy Beecham. What a performance that is for Danielle. Let's take a look around the other tables. What's going on for us? That's long shot Lindsay Roberts on the table.
Probably worth mentioning as well. I mean, Daniel's a very new mum, so
yeah,
to come back from that, I mean, she won't have had much time to practice, I wouldn't imagine, having a little one around. I mean, that's already an incredible performance to get herself to the final.
Well, we saw her at the British Open, and we had a lovely interview with her where Leanne Craig coming to the table here against Lindsay. This is in the Women's Pro Series Event 2. But we had a lovely interview with Danielle at the British Open, where it was her and her lovely baby boy, like in the interview together. It was really, really nice, and I think it helps, doesn't it, in that relationship that, you know, mum and dad are both top pool players, because you've got, obviously, John McAllister and Danielle Randall. So it's not like either mum or dad is having to sort of sell the other one short by continuing to play. They both sort of get it. They're in the same boat in that sense, which is going to be a big thing for both of them. But even so, you're quite right. It's an important factor. Might even be a motivating factor as well. Sometimes find that sort of new parents can all of a sudden start really succeeding at whatever they're doing, because they just find that extra degree of motivation, whatever it may be. You're not missing anything, by the way, on the on the main arena table. I think one of the players just taken a moment out of the arena. I'd imagine it's Stevie Dempsey, just to reset.
Yeah.
Let's take a look around the other tables then. We've got another match to show you. Have we, Mr. Producer Man? We do. That is the one and only Vicky Lomax. Tough red to 8-ball there for Vicky. Not going to fall.
And worth mentioning as well, across on, I believe on the other table, it's is it the second semi-final?
Yes, so
of the ladies? So
Kirsty Lee Davies about
yeah.
to take on Marion Jude.
Yeah.
And I would understand, I won't take it personally, if you want to go and watch that match on YouTube. We'll keep an eye on it on the main table for you whilst we watch Stevie Dempsey and Aaron Davies, and it looks like Stevie's back in the arena, so we're going to head back to the main table here. 3-0 down is Stevie. Aaron with a 3-0 advantage with the break. Fantastic start for the Cyborg. And over on table 2, very shortly getting underway, will be Kirsty Lee Davies versus Marion Jude. We will keep you updated with what's happening in that semi-final. Winner will take on Danielle Randall in the Pro Series 1 final. Aaron makes a ball. Oh, Aaron, this is starting to look good.
That break's really working for him. Very unusual break. Very unique. Cues right across the far side of his chin. We've mentioned it plenty of times on comms, but it's very, very odd. And he's worked out this break. Started using it a couple of years ago, and found some consistency with it now as well. I mean, Stevie has literally done nothing wrong so far. Obviously, he went in off in the last frame. It's a mistake, but it's a minor mistake. I had dinner with Stevie a couple of hours ago, and he was in good humour.
He's remarkable for that, actually. We talked about it earlier about Ian Alley just having a switch, and talked about actually in the quarterfinal between Aaron and Craig, because we talked about Craig having the same thing. Really affable guy, but as soon as he crosses into that arena, a mode just changes in his head, and he goes into Craig the pool player, and he doesn't really do personal and all the rest of it. It's just almost like a demon robot. Stevie's a little bit like that. He's incredibly relaxed outside of the table, and even almost as soon as he comes off, but when he's out there, he's so incredibly laser focused.
Yeah.
And he can actually turn it on and off whilst he's out there as well.
Yeah.
Because sometimes he'll have a chat in the corner just to take his mind off what's occurring, and then he'll zone back in. It's amazing to see. It's that level of focus which is sometimes needed at the very, very top level.
So far, there's some symmetry between these two semi-finals. Shane Thompson won the first 4 frames in the first semi-final. Aaron, he's still got a bit of work to do, but he's looking favourite at the moment to go 4-0. I hope I don't give him the dreaded curse.
Just has to work these.
Yeah.
Just has to work these. He'll have to go up the table now, because it's no real good to him potting that one over bottom left, because he was too thin on the ball he just had. He wanted to be straighter on that, just to swing around the bottom and hold the white on the line for the red to bottom left.
Be interesting to see what he does here, whether he just takes his medicine and leaves himself a longer shot, or whether he uses the top cushion, tries to get closer to this red. I mean, leaving the longer shot guarantees you the exact angle, and that's what I thought Aaron would do, because that's the way he plays. Just plays within himself, makes sure he leaves himself that shot. Other players may have used the top cushion and tried to come down further.
100% the right shot there. 100%. Needs to play a good one here, though.
Yeah, just drag it in. Oh wow, it was the dreaded curse, I'm afraid. I'll take the blame for that one, Aaron. Sorry about that.
It was the only thing, wasn't it? The fact that he was leaving such distance.
Yeah.
That, it's a pot that Aaron will feel he never should miss. But it is a missable pot. It can happen. But Stevie Dempsey here has not been left a gimme. I wonder if he's looking lost a turn.
No.
Does it slide by?
The yellow passes are red, yeah.
Or if it slides by, it's okay.
He's taking another look at it, but I'm fairly sure it's tight. But it does go.
Yeah, could just avoid the middle pocket as well. How's he come up here? He's all right. The two on the top left, on the top cushion, are going to be a little fiddly. In an absolutely ideal world, he's he's high on this yellow he's on now to the top right, because he can then get towards them, but he's low, so he's going to deal with these two first. He can't really do much about that. Yeah, that's a nice shot. Wants to get as straight as he can dare, but he also needs to leave himself a little bit of angle to get down to the 8-ball as well. That's okay, that's nice. He wants to try and leave the same shot a couple of times, essentially.
Quite a big angle. I think he's going to end up coming further down the table. I think he's going to be closer to the bulk line, and he's going to have a thin clip. There's a tiny grimace on his face. I don't think he can quite hold this as he wants to. No, he's having to come up and down the table as a result.
That's okay though, that's alright. I mean, it's completely natural cue ball. He's guaranteed to be on the 8-ball if he makes the pot. Makes it simple.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to hold again though, so he's going to have to use the bottom cushion. He's going to have to come up and down the table.
But he's got so much margin with that, because he's got the right centre as well. He's got so much margin here. Just make the ball, and he's on the board.
He may even be putting some right side on it to come to the right side of the table. No, he wasn't. He put left side.
Oh, I don't know if he needed to. Has he got lucky?
No,
maybe not really.
I think
it could be easier for Aaron, but
it could be. But he's got a choice of both. He's got the long one to the top right corner, which I think is the one he will take on. He's got the other one to the middle. This is definitely the ball the outside of the two.
Are you a little bit surprised to see Stevie try and just, because that pot was difficult enough, and I just felt you play at a natural line and you almost felt guaranteed to be on the 8-ball, really.
It felt like it needed a shade of side. I think the natural line was bringing it quite close to the 8-ball, and he didn't want to kind of either contact the 8-ball or flick the red on the way past. So he's put a little bit aside just to try and hold the cue ball on a slightly different line. But even if he'd have made the yellow, he was snookered. I mean, it was just too much side on the ball.
Well, Aaron Davies has made the perfect start here. 4-0 the leads for the Cyborg. We're going to head back over to table 2, where I think we're underway in the Women's Pro Series semi-final number 2. Marianne Jude already on the board against this lady right here, the Welsh Wizardess, Kirsty Lee Davies, Player of the Year 2024 on the Women's Pro Series. This is a great matchup, two world-class players.
Yeah, an absolute humdinger.
Could easily be a final. But we might see this semi-final a couple of times this season, I feel like, because they're two such good players, and you know, depending on how the results work out and the rankings lie for event 2, if they stay the same seedings.
Wow, what are we seeing here?
Wow, this is crazy.
What are we seeing here? I mean,
same corner pocket.
But again, I mean, this got kicked in, which is a little bit unlucky, but he sent the cue ball up there. I mean, it's in the vicinity. As soon as you want to be bringing that cue ball up the middle of the table. As soon as you push it towards those pockets, yes, it got kicked. Yes, it's unlucky, but if it wasn't over in that vicinity, it wouldn't have got kicked in. I mean, obviously it can get kicked in from anywhere, but you stand less chance if you pull it straight back up. He's not quite timing it.
Yeah, he was dancing with the devil a bit on that break. It's fair to say he's a little unlucky, but Stephen will know that he's been breaking better than that all day. He said in his interview before we came off air earlier on this afternoon after he won his quarter-final against Rob Warren. He said the break was the difference for him. You know, he feels like if he's breaking well, and he's breaking well, has been for the last 2 days, if he feels in the match, he feels like he's good enough to win. He just needs the chances in the match, and that's where the break comes in. Big difference maker for him. But at the minute, he can't really get a good chance at the table. He's had 2 visits to the table, that's important to say. One very tricky layout in frame 1, which missed a long ball, and Aaron's pulled out a really nice finish to counter. And obviously did have a sniff in the last frame, and I think that's the one that will hurt the most, because I think he'll even though he was feeding off scraps, it's a finish that he would have really expected to get.
Just finished a little bit short of pace here, and obviously the 8-ball is a bit of a problem. He's not going to be able to move that 8, I don't feel, so he's going to have to leave that as a double. It's a nice shot. Wasn't in the original plan, but he's gone to plan B, and it's absolutely fine. Now he can play this ball to bottom left. And screw back. There you go, he's showing you where he wants to be. The 8 has to be a double. Well, I guess it doesn't have to be a double. He could land on it. But Aaron is a very, very good doubler of the ball. Just finished a little low again. You just saw a grimace. He wanted to be just a tad straighter. He could have run this through. Now he has to come back. He wanted to be playing the last yellow from the left-hand side of the table so he could screw back onto the 8-ball and play it down the cushion. It's going to be hard to get on the 8 from here. I think he's going to be forced to play that double. Too much angle again. The red in the middle of the table plays big here as well, so he's going to have to come. Wow. He is going to take it long. This is a tester.
How good do you feel at 5-0 if you've nailed this?
Oh, he'll be bouncing.
1 foot in the final. Miss it though, and it might just plant a seed of doubt. This is a huge shot in the context of this match.
Yeah, this could be a momentum shifter.
Oh,
Got it.
all the way.
Never in doubt.
All the way from Aaron Davies. 5-0 in front. What a start. What a start to the second semi-final here.
Boy, that's a good shot.
Yeah, just kissed the rail on its way in, but
just the right pace.
Yeah, perfect. Just played it really well. Excellent shot from the Cyborg.
Pocket plays so much bigger when you play them at that pace.
Let's take a look once again at our second Women's Pro Series semi-final. Kirsty Davies took out that finish against Marion a frame ago, and she's back at the table again and about to go 2-1 in front. Yeah, that'll do. That'll work.
Yeah, the 8-ball passes. I'm sure passes to left centre. From this angle, it doesn't look like it does, but I'm pretty sure there's space there. If not, she can screw straight back and take it to right centre.
Yeah, I think that tells us.
Yep.
I'll let you know, folks. Don't worry if Kirsty Lee makes that 8-ball. Aaron Davies finally breaks dry. And I can tell you that Kirsty did indeed make that 8-ball. That's a 2-1 lead for the Welsh Wizardess. Stevie Dempsey then 5-0 down. Gets his first opportunity at a fresh layout. So far, he's had 2 opportunities at scraps. That's it. And at 5-0, there's no sugarcoating it. These need to go.
They do. Stevie Dempsey's one of those players that you just feel, even at 5-0 down, he's such a danger.
100%. He's not out of this.
Yeah.
He's not out of it. It was interesting actually speaking to Ian Alley in the interview after his win over Shane Thompson. I said to him, 7-3 down. You know, are you thinking, oh, I'm on the brink here, I'm just going to have to really fight to stay in it? Or are you genuinely, fully still believing that you can win? And he looked me dead in the eye and said, completely honestly, oh no, I believe I can win. I fully believe that all I need is the chances, and I am still right in this game. It doesn't matter if they're on the hill. Give me the chances and I'll win. And
great mindset.
It's an unbelievable mindset. You can't really teach that. I don't think everyone's got it. You wouldn't be human. I don't think it's not a particularly natural quality to have. It takes a special player to have that sort of belief.
There's a lot of players in the pro ranks that won't have that mindset. You know,
No.
they'll be staring down this barrel at 7-3, thinking, I want to make this. I want to make this a bit more respectable. Get another couple frames on the board. You know, they'll hope that they get their chances and they'll hope they're able to take them, but they won't have that stony belief that Ian has.
Yeah, and Stevie's excellent at just sort of compartmentalising. He really will be just one frame at a time. Keep chipping away, put him under pressure, and Stevie knows he is as good as anybody when the chips are down and the shot clock's ticking and it's really close. He can compete with absolutely anybody in that environment. He just needs to get there, and maybe he's thinking, give me a chance, make Aaron sweat a little, and then we're right in the mix.
So this needs to be pinpoint. He needs to find the right line, the right angle. It's still tricky because he needs to thread the needle to get onto the one right at the top of the table and then still be able to get down and give himself a shot on the 8-ball. There's not a lot of room up there to leave himself an angle, so this really does need to be perfection. Just looking through that gap of the two reds, where does he need to be just to leave himself a trace of an angle to get closer to the 8? Just about enough angle. I mean, he's always going to have a shot on the 8, of course. He could leave the cue ball where the yellow is and have a shot on the 8, but obviously the further he gets down the table, the easier it becomes. That's a nice shot. Jumps on this chance. First chance really he's had with his hand on the table. And shows what he's made of.
When he came to the table here, Stevie Dempsey knew he had to get those, and he has. 5 becomes 4 to find. You never ever write off the hammer. Heading back over to the Women's Pro Series semi-final. Marion Jude this time is at the table. 2-1 down, race to 7. Winner of this faces Danielle Randall in the final later on this evening. If you're just joining us, Ian Alley pulled off an unbelievable comeback against Shane Thompson in our first Pro Series semi-final. He's awaiting the winner of Stevie versus Aaron. Marion and Kirsty fighting it off to face off against Danielle. Oh, how good a pot is that? But did I hear a call foul on herself? Or have I made that up? No, made it up. Heard something else. Yeah, it's a great shot.
Yeah, hard to see how she attacks from there, but
can dictate terms at least.
Yes. Stevie Dempsey finally. Wow, how close is that to going off? Finally keeps the cue ball on the table and makes a yellow. Look at that cue ball. Just takes a little glance, another half a roll, and that was yet another in off. Very awkward. I think he's looking at that yellow. That's a very fiddly shot. Is he going long? No, it was that yellow. It wasn't quite as bad as I thought it was, and suddenly a great chance for Stevie Dempsey to get a second frame.
Yeah, it was a lot fuller than I thought it was as well.
Yeah.
He'll be pleased with that. Decent, actually quite a decent opening shot, really, all things considered. The key shot in this frame, the absolute key, is the transition shot from top to bottom and landing on that yellow. He may elect to get rid of it early. I'd be amazed if he did. Feels like a get rid of the 3, land low on the yellow, the 8-ball's waiting. But that transition shot is cash ball. If you land slightly high on that yellow to the right centre, you are 5-2. But anything else, and it might well be up in the air. It's not a massive gap to find.
think he'll be happy to pot it from above. To be honest, if he finishes straight, he could just run through and take the 8-ball in the left centre.
Yeah, he may not have a choice actually. Now he's got this angle.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it will be going low to the bottom right. This final yellow.
Well, he has come down table. Interesting.
Well, his issue here is, can he hold?
But no, he can't. And
yeah,
I'm asking the question why he's come down the table. Does that 8-ball not go into the left centre? Am I talking absolute twaddle?
Sure. No, it flies in. Yeah.
So why is he not just dumped that in, left a straight yellow, and just top it through for the 8 in the left centre? I don't know what he's trying to do there.
Yeah, that was missable.
That's wild. I'm lost. I really am. I don't know what he was doing.
Well, the line of the shot he was playing wasn't a terrible line. It was just overhit, but that was quite a difficult shot to play. He's drawing the cue ball back a good 6 feet. You know, you can make that mistake on pace.
I mean, he's at the table. He can see the angles way better than I can. But it just looked like he could just bounce off the top cushion and come down into the line of the yellow. And you know, from where he is, it's a stop shot, surely. And then he's got a long yellow. Top it through for the 8-ball in the centre. I mean, I know it's
his
easy
point
from here.
His point will be, if he lands a foot shorter, it's unmissable, which is obviously why he's taken that option.
But why send the cue ball 6 feet when you can stop it on a sixpence?
No, I'm with you here, Nick. But
I mean, hindsight's 20/20. And all
yeah,
that.
Of course. Yeah, it's.
If he nails the position, then you know we're just talking about the fact he's just gone 5-2 up, and you know, and giving him all the plaudits. But I just think he was, I don't know.
Yeah, well, we saw it earlier on in the match, didn't we? That very first frame, Aaron played a similar shot where he left himself distance and played sort of inverted commas the right shot by giving himself the angle but accepting distance. He missed the pot. I think that was maybe what Stevie was a touch worried about. Aaron's gone slightly wrong here. He wanted to be on this red to the top left. He isn't. He's going to have to reroute. Just needs to find his cue ball. He's got plenty of options, but he just needs to find his cue ball again.
Yeah, it looks like he's got the angle on the ball to middle, just to screw back and just come back a little bit further. He's still looking at this thin cut. Maybe he doesn't have the angle to middle, because it feels like he could just screw back. And
I think he's a little bit low on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a tester. It's missable, this. Played it well. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, pace took it in. I think he's probably going to be taking this yellow long. It's far easier to control the cue ball. The pot's easier to the centre pocket, but the cue ball will be running. I guess the only saving grace to the middle, it's a fairly natural line down and around the 8-ball, so yeah, he could control it. That's a nice line.
Yeah, you're not grumbling with that, are you? Races to 8, and Aaron Davies is about to go 2 from home. And this is brilliant from Aaron. Yes, 6-1 in front. Stevie Dempsey is going to take a minute out of the arena just to compose himself. We're going to head back over to...
Noticeably the second time he's done that. I think this time, I mean, the first time was just probably just to, you know, wash his face and just refresh. This time I think it's in anger. You know, he's fuming about that.
Yeah, very possible.
Because at 5-2 there, he is so in this game.
Yeah, he will feel it's a chance wasted and you know, he's back to 5 frames behind, and when it's 2 from home, he's only making his task harder. It's an interesting one for Kirsty Lee. That's not come out too nice for her over in the Women's Pro Series semi. So she's going to play the loss of turn here. Jams the cue ball next to that yellow. That's
a clever shot.
Yeah, it is.
Just sitting the cue ball on top of the yellow.
But if Marion can hide the cue ball at the top of the table here, she's not going to leave anything nice. She needs to try and force Kirsty to play the yellow next to the red. Yeah, which has she done?
No,
not quite. Almost gone too far.
Yeah, I think the the yellow goes to right centre as well. So
well, I wonder if it does, because I think Kersey turned it down. But I could be wrong. I'm about to find out. I think it definitely goes long, and Kersey's not one to turn a long pot down, so we'll see soon enough. Steve Dempsey's back. Aaron Davies is also back. 5 frames in front. 5-0, now 6-1 for Aaron Davies. He is 2 frames from home and a spot in an Ultimate Pool Pro Series final against Ian Ali. Stevie Dempsey gets first chance in frame number 8.
Didn't time that at all well. Just squirted off the side of the pack. Cue ball looked like it was going to go in off and then got kicked away. Stevie nearly leaps out of his chair, seeing that dry break, and he's away again. And then we look back to that previous frame. If it is 5-2, he's got this opportunity for 5-3 and breaking in the next. Could have been some real pressure mounting. Just shows the importance of taking all of those chances.
Interesting in a way to see Stevie take that moment outside the arena, because I think in a strange way it sort of tells me that he still believes he can win this.
Yeah, for sure.
It's almost like he took himself out of the arena just to almost save himself from himself.
Yeah.
Just to refocus and go, I'm not out of this, just calm, and we go again.
This is a reroute though. He was trying to leave the yellow. He wanted this to be his last ball, so this is a bit more of an awkward finish now. He wanted to be further across the table because this was going to be his yellow, the one that's up the rail now, to then land. He's finished with a bad angle again. It's too big an angle.
Well, can he beat the yellow and take it right centre?
This needs to be really delicate.
Oh, that's a hell of a shot.
Beautiful.
That's a hell of a shot. At 6-1 down, what a shot to find there.
Yeah, that needed to be so delicate with just the right amount of side just to swing on off the cushion.
Will accept a bit of distance on this 8 ball, but this to go back within 4, and there still could well be a long way to go in this match. 6-2. He's not going away quietly, Stevie Dempsey. Big goes 7-1, and even with the powers of recovery of Stevie Dempsey, he's a huge odds against, but you never know. It's 6-2. It would be a big comeback. It wouldn't be an impossible comeback.
The clock's starting to play a factor though. 18 minutes left. I mean, it's enough time. It's definitely enough time to make a comeback, but is it going to go all the way? Stevie needs a really good run now. We're going to be in the 15-second territory.
Well, it's in Stevie's situation, you want to keep Aaron off the hill, right? That's number one priority for him now. So the clock almost, if he manages to achieve that goal, the clock in a strange way will take care of itself, because if he wins the next 3 frames, then all of a sudden it's 6-5 and there's probably 8 minutes left, and who cares about the clock then? You're in the wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And his breaks come back, and what a split he's left here.
That is unbelievable. He's potted 4 reds and a yellow just for good measure.
What an incredible, what a time to find your break. There might not be a part of Stevie Dempsey thinking this, but I think it'd be a part of a lot of people thinking this, going, where was that?
I didn't notice there's a red at the top of the table, so yeah, sorry, it was 3 reds. There's one stuck right at the top of the table.
Yeah, which will mean he's going yellows.
Yeah, yeah,
all day.
He would have done anyway. Just the red that's at furthest, well, just below the bulk line, not furthest up the table, the second up the table. That doesn't go. up into the top left. So I mean, yellows were just a better pattern anyway.
Yeah, and to be honest, this is one of those frames where, for an established pro in a semi-final, these are gimme frames.
Yeah.
These are freebies.
But
You've hit a break so well. This is guaranteed 6-3.
Go back to that frame again, Jamie. I mean, I know I keep harping back to it, but this would be for 5-4 now.
You can't think like that. You can't.
Yeah, but I mean, he had that. He had an amazing chance.
I know exactly what you're saying, but for Stevie won't be thinking that. But
no, it's behind him.
But lesser men, of which I would be one, by the way, will be thinking that. But he's so good at just getting over it, focusing on what needs to be focused on. He won't be worrying about that frame at all. Come the end of the match, he might for a few minutes, but he's in this. This is not over. 6-3, far from over. Needed that, Stevie. Really needed it. Aaron's got the next break, but there's some pressure on it with Stevie just looming large as Marion Jude is about to go in front in this Pro Series semi-final. This one is going back and forth. This is live, by the way. If you want to watch it in its entirety, we won't take it personally, me and Nick. You can join Simon Webb and Barbara Taylor on the Ultimate Pool YouTube channel for that. That should be a lot of fun. And won't blame you if that's the decision. As Marion goes in front.
Just going back to...
This is David McQuillan over on one of the other arena tables here. He's had a good little run as David in this event, as the Don. He played better shots than that, though. Ultimate Pool Pro Series 2 is continuing. One more match to play today for those boys.
Yeah, I was going to say, going back to the semi-final as we are, very timely. I did say there was a bit of symmetry between this one and the previous semi-final, and I've got to say that when Stevie took his seat in there, he just suddenly looked different player. He's got that look in his eye that Ian Ali had earlier. And
belief.
This is another dry break.
Belief.
Stevie's starting to get the chances, and he's starting to bounce around the table. There's can never write him off.
6-4 looks so different, especially with your break
He
next.
was 5-0 down, wasn't he? I mean,
5-0, 6-1.
yeah.
He's been 5 frames behind twice. And also, and it will be a factor, there's no real getting away from it. This isn't some expose, but it's 100% a challenge that Aaron has to factor in. Is he has had a couple of really pretty horrible heartbreak stories in the Ultimate Pool Pro Series. He's been a nearly man quite a few times, and it's up to him to stay strong mentally as well, and that's not easy. That requires a lot of resilience.
Yeah, he's going to have to dig deep.
He's a very, very mentally strong player, as Aaron, but that doesn't necessarily make it easy to do it.
Aaron will get some chances, but he needs to...
I'm sure Shane Thompson thought the same
Well,
thing.
yeah, for sure. But
when he got one horrible one, didn't get it, and that was all she wrote.
Yeah.
From 6-1, for it to be Stevie Dempsey, 6-4 with Stevie Dempsey to break next. That is an ominous, ominous turnaround. And you can see, Stevie feels confident. You can just see his whole demeanour. You're absolutely spot on in what you said, Nick. His whole demeanour has just changed.
I mean,
although he's going to leave himself a shot here.
Yeah.
Landing flat to the cushion's no good at all.
Slightly run out of position. But, he's now bouncing around the table. He's now just looks alert, ready. Oh, this is a bit smelly.
He can get to the centre of the cue ball, though. He's going to take it bottom right, I believe. I don't think it's the blind cut, although coming around to look at it, is he looking at the blind cut? Because bottom left is a lot harder than bottom right if it's...
I wonder if he can't get through to the potting angle for bottom right. I think the red's just in the way for that, so he's looking bottom left. which makes it harder because it brings that red even more into it.
This is a really tough shot. If it's bottom left, and I'm almost certain it is, because that's what he's come around to check that potting angle a lot. Yeah, it's bottom left. This is tough.
Yeah, but 6 frames ago I wouldn't have fancied him. Now I do. Doesn't look like missing. Doesn't look like missing.
Hold on to your hats, folks. This is missable. 6 inches shorter and it's nailed on. An inch shorter, it's nailed on.
This couldn't be any more awkward.
But you fancied him, didn't you,
Doesn't
folks?
look like missing.
You fancied him, didn't you? 6-4. 3 straight for Stevie Dempsey, and he's breaking next.
You know what they call this, don't you? Doing it Ian Alley.
Stevie Dempsey would say Ian Alley did a Stevie Dempsey.
Yeah, but Ian did it first. So.
What happens if they meet in the final? Do they just stay at 0-0 for as long as possible?
Yeah,
Check back in on the ladies' semi-final. Marion Jude at the table on yellows. Looks like Kirsty ran aground on reds. Oh, sorry, my apologies. Flip that around. Kirsty Davies at the table. Looks like Marion Jude ran aground on reds. Kirsty on yellows, looking to tie things back up. Winner, remember, faces Danielle Randall in the Women's Pro Series final in around about an hour and a half, I'd say. Before then, on the main arena table, right here on Ultimate Pool TV, we'll see the Challenger Series Tier 1 Event 1 final. It should be a great game. Niall Sweeney, Jack Schofield, Ireland versus England for the first Challenger title. Indeed, the first trophy handed out all weekend. Stevie Dempsey's break is back, and I'd like to issue a warning note. Strap in, because this is about to get pretty serious.
Yeah, this is.
We've got what the Americans call a ball game, Nick.
This one's awkward though. This one is not straightforward at all. He's got the red to the left, red to the right. Both problem balls. The red that's above the 8 ball is a problem. If you look at yellows, they're
two big problems.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to get a ball. He's called his extension.
He did call it.
Yeah.
He even stood up to call it. So.
Yeah, it does have his extension. There's, I can tell you the 15 shot clock isn't now in play. I think the
rest press the wrong button.
yeah, I think that's what's happened there, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. The shot clock is still working, which is the most important thing. It's still on 30, which is nice.
This is the right shot. Lost a turn.
Yeah.
Early doors.
I thought he was going to play that. Just sort of get your colour set. You'd rather be yellows than reds in this scenario, and then just get to work.
He can take a chance there because obviously the yellows are still a mess. Had to do that there and then.
Yeah. Just ignore the back screens. Aaron just having a little look at the clock just to confirm. Still very much on 30 seconds here. We are for the next 90. 15-second shot clock is coming, but not till we get to 10 minutes left in the match.
I think Aaron's looking for a way here to He just needs to, I think.
Oh, well, he's going.
Do you? Well, actually, you can.
You can, but it's such a risk.
If he finishes low on this red and he can knock the other one out, at the top of the table deals with itself because the red goes in off the yellow.
Yeah, but
you bring the yellow out.
Top of the table's not the concern. He's putting all his eggs into a double, isn't he?
Well,
is he?
I think initially he was hoping to get lower and knock this yellow out, but now it is going to have to be the double.
Wait, is it the treble?
No, it's a treble.
Oh, how'd you like this?
I thought he was going to come higher and double it into the corner, but I mean, is a double to the corner easier than the treble? Don't know. Depends what you fancy, I guess.
Look, he's just lost the last 3 frames. This is his first chance at the table in a little while, and I just can't help but think he might be overextending. Aaron Davies has made a career out of proving people wrong, though. What do I know?
Oh, what a shot that is.
What do I know? What a shot.
Stevie Dempsey appreciated a little tap on the knee.
Well, he respected it. I don't know if he appreciated it.
Well, that's true, yeah. Probably the wrong choice of words.
It's not quite a dagger, but it won't be far off. Aaron Davies on the hill if he wins this frame, remember. Still has to get one very tough shot right.
Yeah, still needs this to come out because the red could.
Wow.
No way.
Wow.
I thought that was a gimme. And so the problem there, he was worried about the yellow coming in, kicking the other red and pushing it safe. So he just got it a little bit thicker. Key to the frame here. And it's come out. Still one problem ball on the left side cushion, but that's one of the problems dealt with. The shot that was. Needs to fizz this. No.
Well, he's got an angle here if he wants, right centre, to maybe just try and get into the yellow on the left side. I mean, it's horrible. Or he can do left centre as well. He can go either way here. Depends which way he wants to see it. A little bit of spin.
Oh, what a shot.
Lovely. Lovely. Oh, we've got a game here, Nicholas. This is brilliant. And for all the Aaron Davies fans out there watching, and I know there'll be plenty, he's a very well supported young man. Don't get me wrong, I love Aaron to bits, but I'm purely neutral in this, and seeing it go 6-5 is just absolute cinema. It was 5-0. It was 6-1. It's now 6-5. Wow.
Holy moly.
These semi-finals have delivered and then some. Brilliant finish from Stevie Dempsey.
I'm trying to think back for two more dramatic semi-finals. I mean, these players are,
and this one hasn't even finished yet. It could even get better.
Yeah.
You can see the crowd starting to filter in. This is being watched by quite a few out there. Crowd's only going to get bigger tonight as the finals get onto the main table.
The thing is for Aaron now, he hasn't done much wrong. He has to have that mental fortitude to say, I mean, Stevie did it earlier. You know, I'm behind.
Aaron's
I haven't
made
done
one
much
mistake.
Wrong. Yeah. So Aaron just has to think, just keep doing what you're doing. But everything's going to look like a problem now. It has to.
Yeah. He had two problems in that visit, and I said I feared he was overextending, but I don't really stand by that because I think he made the hardest problem work. It was an incredible treble he played, and you expect him to make the one top right more times than he doesn't. It was just a tough shot. Sometimes it happens, but 6-5 on the break. If it's dry, the demons will be circling.
Big moment for Aaron Davies in this break. Needs a ball. His break has completely deserted him.
I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible.
I mean, it's like a role reversal. Stevie was doing this early doors, going dry, going in off, and now it's a complete role reversal. It's completely dried up for Aaron, and Stevie is bouncing.
Yeah, it's like this game has been on a seesaw, and Aaron Davies had it in the first half, and it's just swung the other way in the second. It's exactly the same performance.
Here's a question for you then, Jamie. I mean, I think...
Oh, now then.
Oh, goodness me.
Didn't see that coming.
Nor me.
Nor did Stevie Dempsey, I don't think. 15-second shot clock now. That's a big part of this match. And Stevie Dempsey just misses a big ball. Oh, is it the plant? Is it the plant?
Yeah, it has to be.
Got to play this one true.
Gets these, and it's a fairly natural pattern.
Great shot. Yeah, great shot.
Yeah.
Played it really... The reason why that plant was difficult was it wasn't making the first ball, it was making sure the second one didn't move too much.
And that's all the hard work done. So this is a natural dot-to-dot finish. He's got this one, then left centre, come down the table, bottom right, bottom left. And he's got the one to middle, gap for the 8 ball. Sounds easy.
Nothing's easy anymore.
As I said,
anymore.
Things are going to look a problem for Aaron at the moment. This shouldn't. It's just rely on your training, rely on your luck, rely on your practice.
It's just come a little funky. I'm almost certain he wanted to be bottom left here.
Yeah.
He might still be on it. He's okay. Yeah, he's okay. Thought for a second the 8 ball was in the way. He's all right here.
Nice angle. He can just drop this in now, and then the cue ball and then naturally drifts out to leave himself on the last yellow. If he was any straighter, he'd have had to force it. When you play him at that pace, it's so much easier. You can just check this off the bottom cushion now.
Yeah, 8 ball goes bottom left. He's absolutely fine.
Lots of left-hand side. Check off the bottom cushion.
Ooh, perfect. That was a short window to find on that line, but he found it. And Aaron Davies is going to climb the hill and stop the rots.
What a shift that is. I mean, hats off to Aaron for taking out that finish. You know, with that kind of pressure on him, with Stevie just throwing everything at him. But I don't think he was expected to get that chance there. I was just about to say to you, when Stevie was on one before he missed that ball, I was about to ask you the question, if Stevie managed to complete this, pull off this comeback, you know, who do you think goes into the final as favourite? Because they're both on the same plane, Stevie and Ian, but it's a moot point now.
It may not be.
It might.
I was going to say don't rule him out, but yeah, I take your point completely. Aaron it feels like just snuffed the momentum a touch.
And the reason I think it is a bit of a moot point, because if Stevie just goes on and on and on, like wins every frame and just sees the match out, then he's on a different level. Now he's in a fight again, and now his mindset's probably going to be a little bit different, because he's got to battle through these next few frames.
Yeah, I completely take the point. Aaron Davies needs 1 frame. Stevie Dempsey needs 2 minimum. He won't mind 2, by the way, at this stage. If you gave Stevie Dempsey the next 2 frames and a 6 red shootout, from here, I think he'd take it. There's very few players better on a match clock than Stevie Dempsey.
These yellows should be gone.
And the fact that these have come out so nice is it starts to open the window for maybe 3, because 5 minutes is plenty of time for 2. And essentially, that's what he's sort of looking at here. 4 minutes for 2 frames is very doable on a 15-second shot clock. And that's what he's looking at. This finish won't take much longer than a minute.
I'm surprised he's leaving the one to middle as his last ball, because surely if you leave this ball to your last, then getting on the 8 ball is an absolute cinch. The 8 ball doesn't go to bottom right, so he's got to do something here with this cue ball.
Oh, he does, yeah.
And it might be I mean, I still fancy him to get this, but it might be the clock there, because if he goes middle, bottom corner, bottom right, he's just got the simplest shot to get on the 8 ball.
Well, this is the match, because if Stevie Dempsey misses this, Aaron Davies is a finalist. Has to get it. Has to.
This is skinny.
Oh, what a shot. Cue ball. Cue ball.
He's okay.
Oh, 7-6. 3 minutes 47 to go. What a pot to find. What an 8 ball to find for Stevie Dempsey. Fabulous. Oh, what a match this has been. Whoever ends up getting through will have more than deserved it. And it's one of those where you start to think a little bit here, you just feel for the loser. I don't know who it will be, but whoever loses this, it'll hurt for a little bit.
He took a real chance there in leaving that last ball to the middle, because he was always going to come back and cannon into the, that was to the right hand side of it. And,
I think
enough spin on it just to get far enough.
I think his thought was he's maybe a fraction short on his penultimate yellow, because he thinks if he can get even straighter on it, he's closer, isn't he, to the 8 ball. It's still, I don't think it was plan A, put it that way, but plan B got the job done. Okay, Aaron, 3 minutes 47. it's still in your hands, but this break will inform a lot of what happens in the next 3 minutes and 47 seconds.
Desperate for a ball. Gets one. Cue ball is okay. And
these aren't bad at all.
They're not bad.
Reds are actually really nice here, if he's got an okay opener.
Yeah, he's got the one down there to bottom right, you can see. He's also got one at the top of the table, you can see. Get through to the one right at the top of the table. Clip it in.
He's going yellows. He is.
Yeah, you can absolutely make a case for either.
The two just together on the break line don't connect particularly nicely. He almost needs to be straight on one of them.
Or just off straight, and he can come back and cannon into the red. He can use the red. I think that's the way he's seen this. Yeah, it's just about this shot. Even on the line he's on now, and then he can come over and cannon the red to the right, because the yellow goes into top left or top right. So he's got some options here. That's
that's not what he wanted.
No,
he's short.
Probably going to cannon into the yellow now.
Yeah. Doesn't have much time to think about it. 15-second shot clock.
Might just be able to dig it back, get into the red. Yeah, he just took his medicine there, just left it slightly thinner. But, just needs to find the gap. Get down for the 8 ball, give himself a shot.
He's got it. He's got it. For a Pro Series final for Aaron Davies.
What a great performance. That really is, under the circumstances. I mean, Aaron Davies was all over that match in the early part, but Stevie Dempsey came roaring back at him, put on the ultimate pressure. Just one missed ball from Stevie Dempsey in the latter part of the match has really cost him there, because wowee, it was just absolutely impossible to call.